in the round of 8, but we can get into that a little bit later as race 1 of the Final Four is starting right now with Georgetown in yellow and St. Mary's in the blue boats. So they're just about to get underway with about 5 seconds left in their sequence, and here we go.
So just to quickly give some implications as we head into this Final Four, Yale with 3 losses, Georgetown and St. Mary's with 5 losses, and BC with 6 losses. So all teams at this point still mathematically have a chance to win the regatta. Basically, each race Yale wins, they knock off one more team from winning. So if Yale beats BC in their next race, that would knock BC out. If Yale beats St. Mary's, they clinch the title. So they really need to either beat St. Mary's or beat 2 other teams. But at this point, again, if anybody wins out and Yale loses out, any one team has a chance of winning this regatta at this point. So we enter with the championship, the wood, up for grabs at this point for any of these 4 teams. Off the line here in this race, Georgetown, St. Mary's, and Georgetown looks to be off the line pretty well here. 2 pairs
St. Mary's
on the right.
had one boat that was well back at the start, number 6. But the other boats seem to start pretty well, although they're not looking that strong now.
And we're seeing a bit of a velocity increase in the breeze as well, as you see all the crews are pretty much sitting on the rail hiking. So I don't know if that's going to change too much. It's certainly the windiest we've seen it all weekend, I would say. But an increase in boat traffic as well, as you can also see just the very lumpy on the race course at the moment. And the sun is starting to poke through slightly, so that could only increase as the day goes on.
Yeah, Georgetown's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, St. Mary's absolutely in chase mode right now, losing both pairs on the right, and quite possibly losing this pair on the far left. Maybe a weak hold with boat 4 and boat 17 at best. So Georgetown, or St. Mary's may be hoping boat 4 can hold on to the left, hold on to first place, and hope they round 156. I think is the best case scenario right now.
Yeah.
And what's queuing up on deck right now, we have BC and Yale, a rematch of the cardiac-inducing finale that we had to get final confirmation on twice, and that one's just about to get underway. But we'll stick with this one right now: St. Mary's and Georgetown as they're making their way up to the weather.
Yeah,
mark.
this is obviously an important race in the Final Four. These 2 teams are tied for second, and the winner, still has a shot at Yale. Although St. Mary's chances would be better since they have beaten Yale in a race, and as such could win a tiebreak over Yale.
Right, and Georgetown 0-2 against Yale, so Georgetown is not on the tiebreak, so Georgetown would really need Yale to lose out here.
Yes, Georgetown would need to win all 3, Yale would need to lose all 3 for Georgetown to win.
The title could actually be decided in these 2 races here, as we see St. Mary's losing this first race. If St. Mary's is to lose and Yale is to win their first race, that would do it, I believe, for Yale.
I think you're right.
Looking up at the top here, we've got Georgetown riding a 1-2. But St. Mary's staying close, 3-4-5. So Georgetown boat 17, Nevin Snow is in the 6, and actually Georgetown
boat 16
looks like boat 16 spinning. That's Sean.
Yeah, they
Goldman
didn't
again.
quite make it around the mark without a port starboard.
So a 2-3-4 for St. Mary's that keeps their hopes for the title alive.
Yeah, that's kind of been their bread and butter all weekend, it seems. They seem to be really comfortable whenever they can get into that play, too.
Yeah, off the start here, we've got Yale in red, BC in orange, and Yale's got one boat spinning, not even on screen right now, and actually BC spinning as well, boat 11, so 2 boats deep off the line for Yale and BC. But BC here looking pretty strong, boats 10 and 12 here, off to the races.
Start.
So they definitely have a 6 that's still spinning and deep, not even close to the starting line, but 12 and 10 sailing fast. So they're going to need to keep the
very
fleet
strong
race
start
moving.
for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Looking back upwind, though, to that St. Mary's Georgetown race, pretty nice visuals as the breeze is starting to pipe up. The boats can get cooking a little bit faster, and seems to be still pretty comfortable in their 2-3-4. However, that one yellow boat for Georgetown, what number is that? 16.
Boat 16.
Has started to become a little bit more of a factor. They had a little lane coming downwind, got some nice pressure, and now certainly mixing it up, as you can see right now, jibing with boat 5.
furiously jibing back and forth.
Just hucking the pine back and forth.
So boat 16 really just looking for an opportunity to get across boat 4. So they're trying to separate from boat 5 and waiting for an opportunity that they can sneak back across the bow of boat 4 and solidify at least one boat behind them and try and make a play 4 happen.
Mark trap at the bottom.
Looks like a protest from 18, and boat 6 is spinning. So St. Mary's boat 5, Alex Curtis got his work cut out for him.
Very quick spin though, already back in the mix with 16 getting a piece. I'm seeing a protest hail from boat 16.
Against
6 might have been a port starboard incident, and it looked like 6 might have fouled there.
Green flag, so St. Mary's is able to round 2, 3, 4 here.
How about that?
Despite that possible foul with both 6 and 16. 16
a wild
hailing
run.
for contact, but sounds like the umpires didn't think so. And I'm looking at boat 6 here, and they look like they're steering the tiller with their hand. I think we might have lost the tiller extension here. So
Oh boy, that's going to make it hard on the next leg.
that's going to make
in
it
this much
difficult
breeze.
here.
Oh, look at this. They go right around almost into first.
What's the, you normally get,
Oh my God,
you
like I
normally
said.
get breakdown scenarios, but it depends on how it broke. If the rubber piece broke, then I feel like that is a little more redressable than something else breaking on it.
Yeah, so breakdown for sure for St. Mary's here. So
But if they can hold on to the win right now, I don't think it'll matter.
you're
That's
right,
correct.
Brooks.
They want to win
So,
this race
Work cut
without
out
any
for
sort of
boats,
hearing.
work cut out for boats 4 and 5 here. The roll kind of falls on them as boat 6 is just going to try and sail up the course. They're not going to be very maneuverable sailing without a tiller extension. So really, they're just hoping to.
That's
fleet
Marcus
race up the
Edegren
course.
steering with his feet, with an outstretched arm, with his teeth, anything he can to steer that boat.
Full style point.
And he's a
taking.
factor in
He
this
is-
race.
He is moving faster.
Yeah,
right now.
that's a big guy. He certainly is appreciative of this bigger, as we're seeing the velocity pipe up.
But on the left here, Sean Golden gets a piece of Alex Curtis here. So
Yeah, boat 4 and
excuse me,
boat
gets
5 for
gets
the
a
Hoyas
piece
are
of,
still.
and he drops the tiller too. I don't know what that was about.
Well,
So-
I'm not sure St. Mary's can hang on to this. They've lost the pair on the left.
And their pair on the right
Well,
still
Marcus
sailing.
is not going to be able to win that race with no tiller extension. So right now, boat 4 is leading for St. Mary's. I would say they're leading a 1-3-5.
I'm not sure boat 4 is going to be able to get across boat 18 here.
You're right. Yellow's winning over there.
So boats 4 and 6.
Georgetown leading that.
Boats 4 and the tiller extensionless boat 6 are going to need to come back and try and make a play here.
Georgetown and Yellow is in 1-4-5 now.
And just peeking into this BC Yale race, BC still in control with a 1-2-5, looking
Yeah,
very,
since the
very
start.
happy. Both boats on the same port jibe, winging well ahead of the two Yale boats chasing.
So that's good news for BC and Georgetown fans who are still hoping to keep the dream alive as Yale chasing this race, looking like it's going to be tough to come back from. So not ready to clinch yet with BC probably taking this win over Yale. But it's not over yet. We've seen crazier things from Yale.
Peeking
so,
back up to that blue and yellow race, the blue and yellow race upwind Georgetown and St. Mary's.
Right, well, Marcus Edegren finally turned around on the finish since
Looks like
he
we
did
see
not
a-
have the bullet.
It looks like we see a Georgetown boat through the line, and boat 6 is just going straight downwind to try to get back in on the party here.
Yeah, sailing without a tiller extension, remember, boat 6.
Excuse me, that was a St. Mary's boat through the line already,
And
not a
I expect
Georgetown
we're
boat.
going to see well, maybe not.
Yeah, there's no way they can win that without having a hearing for the breakdown and then resailing it.
I think they've just crossed the line. I think they've given up on trying to convert the 236. They're going to try and have a hearing for that broken tiller extension.
The graphic on your screen.
Yeah, it shows St. Mary's. St. Mary's is actually St. Mary's Georgetown. St. Mary's in blue, Georgetown
That's
in
what was
yellow.
confusing
And
me.
a red flag.
A red flag on boat 5, it seems like, for the Hoyas. So St. Mary's might be able to.
That's for
oh,
St.
you're
Mary's.
right. Excuse me. On St. Mary's. So the Hoyas might be squeaking through here.
So Hoyas are going to cross in a 145, it looks like.
But obviously, we saw the tiller extension breakdown, so we'll see what happened there. I don't know what's the redress process, Ken, or Johnny. I don't know who.
Well, like any breakdown, you have to have a little hearing and determine that it was no fault of the crew. just a pure equipment malfunction, and then you can get the race resailed.
Will it be determined on the water right now by the judges?
I'm not sure about that. They might try to do that right up at the finish line. In fact, they're alongside the boat right now.
Talking to boat 6, I think they're probably trying to evaluate. I wonder now, was the tiller extension taped? Did it break, or did it simply come unhooked and get thrown out of the boat?
Yeah, I think that's kind of one of those things. Typically, you feel if it's something that could have been avoidable by the skipper and crew, kind of giving a once over of the boat before they got into it. But if not, I think that's something you want to check before you go out for a Final Four. So maybe something did actually break, because I feel like if it was questionable.
Yeah. Meanwhile, BC continues to romp away with a 1-2 over Yale, and something the BC coach Greg Wilkinson said this morning: the more wind, the merrier. That's what they really needed, more wind. It's been light. They had one breezy day of women's in the semifinals. It was the only day they did well during women's semis, and now we're getting some breeze again. It's not exactly windy, but it is certainly up into the good medium range. So BC has wheels.
Let's see, is boat 10 across boat 3 now? BC boat 10, are they across Yale boat 3?
And boat 3 does have some good pace right now, coming in on starboard tack, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, as 10 it seems to be completely in control right now.
No, it looks like boat 10 may have to...
Oh, he has to lead bow.
Hold your phones here, folks.
And that's a foul, so boat 3...
Yeah, boat 10 starting to spin for boat 10, and quick 360, but it looks like BC's going to hold on and get the 1 at the very least, but...
I'm not sure they even got that.
So meanwhile, Yale has to continue to try to make things happen off the left of the pin, but it's not going to be enough.
So well, BC and Yale BC's a 1, looks like maybe a 1-3.
So did BC cross first?
Let's see if we can get John on.
So assuming BC did cross in the 1, they definitely got the 3 there. So it's either a 1-3-6 or a 2-3-6. 2-3-6 would obviously not win, so it kind of comes down to who got first in that race.
Yale and BC certainly seem to have a knack for exciting finishes.
Yeah,
as we saw, the last race of the gold round of 8 came down to the wire.
Let's see if we can check in with John, find out what's going on at the finish line.
See if we can get him on the horn.
Well, Barrows, he's fast.
Yeah, he got right back into that race. Nobody balanced him.
And I believe the competitors are going to stay in the same boats all the way through, or are they going to rotate?
I would think maybe they're just coming back
to talk to their coaches on the piers.
Yeah, it looks like they do stay in the same boats. I see the Hoyas and Yell the entire way through.
Couldn't get John on, so maybe he'll call back, or he was trying to grab an interview or something, or maybe he doesn't even know who got that one. But as we furiously click the refresh button on text score, let's see if that will give us any new information.
We don't know who won that race.
How many units are connected to the hotspot here, guys?
2.
Just us 2.
You're streaming live?
No, we're just refreshing text score.
Just, okay.
That was a cool noise.
Score has been entered, and Yale is across in a 1-4-5 in that
Yale
race.
got the win
So
against BC.
Ian Barrows won that race?
Yeah, it looked like that last BC boat. I'm not sure if we can pull it up, but looked like that last BC boat when they went when the second BC boat fouled, the other boat swooped in to try and pin. And when they went for an aggressive tack back, it looked like Ian maybe snuck around the front. So big mistake by BC, and that gives Yale the win, the 1-4-5. So
wow.
At present, with a Yale win and a St. Mary's loss as scored,
Yale might have
without
just,
the resale, Yale
clinched.
may have clinched it. We'll have to wait and hear on that St. Mary's redress hearing. In any case, that loss for BC puts Boston College out of the running to win, and I believe that win for Yale also puts Georgetown out of the running to win as well. So the only team at this point with a possibility to win are Yale and St. Mary's, pending that protest hearing for St. Mary's. So with the Yale and St. Mary's race coming up, that could wind up being.
Let me see if I can find out
race
from
for the title.
Warblow what's happening with that St. Mary's race.
Okay.
That's good intel.
Are they reselling that St. Mary's? I don't know.
That's what we're going to try to find out. So,
Do we know how it broke? Yeah, so Marcus was like, he was on the outside, and Sean had no room, and then on Marcus's jibe around.
Adam, are you getting a resale?
We don't know. I don't know any more than you.
Okay,
But it wasn't the Tiller.
fair enough.
Said he filed for breakdown.
Right.
Are we sure it just popped off, or I wonder if it broke? Because I don't think that did.
Heroic effort with the missing tiller extension all the way up that last beat.
yeah, Ken just talked to Adam. He's coming back, so we might have some fresh from the mouth of the coach there.
All right, so we're waiting on word on that St. Mary's Georgetown race.
What'd you learn, Ken?
Well, I just spoke with Adam Warblow, St. Mary's coach. They don't know the outcome, but they do know that Marcus Edegren did in fact break the tiller extension and did apply for redress for that breakdown. Whether or not he'll get it or not, we don't know. We don't know if there's going to be a resale. I would imagine we'd find out pretty soon, and hopefully they resale it right away.
Well, you think would they resale it right away, or do you think they'd move it to the end of the round? Because that's normally what happens, I feel like, when there is some sort of breakdown.
Yeah.
I think with the Final Four now, the stakes at hand, I feel like they would go for that resale as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's what I would hope.
I think they really want teams to enter this Final Four with all the information in front of them, knowing who they have to beat.
Well, there's that, but then there's the mentality that you should want to win every race anyway.
Right, but I think for the sake of maybe I'm just speaking on behalf of myself and other viewers here, we really hope to have all the information in front of us, so we're not guessing. Because right now we think Yale maybe has clinched the title by winning that race and St. Mary's losing. So St. Mary's redress hearing, the resale, that could be the difference maker if we get to the end of this round.
Absolutely.
And it sorts out in that fashion.
But I just did hear the race committee say they're going to go into the sequence for this race 154, Boston College versus Georgetown. So that was going to be getting underway momentarily. Maybe they're going to grab the St. Mary's Sailors and try to have this redress real quick. But if you need a Georgetown, would you need a Georgetown boat to testify as well?
I'm not sure. I think the umpire seeing it might be enough. I don't know that you need. I mean, I'm not sure what you're going to get more of the Georgetown boat that you won't have already ascertained from the race. I think the breakdown's just enough to merit a resale, regardless of whether it was a Georgetown foul. But in any case, BC Georgetown race, which relatively speaking to the overall result, is a little bit more inconsequential. It may end up determining who gets second, third, or fourth, but it doesn't have an implication on the final winner here, as at this point, with that first Yale win, the only possible winners are Yale and St. Mary's.
Yeah, they're still not quite getting underway yet, not hearing any horns. Oh, as I say that,
Looks like
there's
2
a 2-minute
minutes.
horn. So maybe I just didn't hear that first one, but 2 minutes to go
Excuse me, can
in
we ask you
sequence
guys to
for
sit down,
Boston
please?
College and Georgetown. Georgetown in the blue boats, BC in the orange. Excuse me, Georgetown is in the yellow boats.
Yeah, Georgetown's going to stay in yellow for this whole rotation, I think.
Yeah, the boats are. Yeah, I was confused originally from the graphic on screen, was showing Seahawks both. So Georgetown in yellow, Boston College in the orange. BC just coming fresh off of what seemed like a heartbreaker against Yale.
Yeah, absolutely. A race that they had almost in the bag.
Well, this is a strange pre-start. Look how far upwind they are. The starting line's
Kind of
way
hard
down
to see
there.
right now with the two,
Yeah,
the red
they're-
and the blue boat.
They're
right in that
a
shot.
good 6-7 boat lengths upwind. I think here we're seeing boats 10 and 12 maybe double teamed here on boat 16.
And velocity of the breeze is starting to pipe up even more. Starting to see a couple whitecaps out there. So maybe we might start seeing a couple of these heavier crews start to gear up to for this Final Four.
What was that phrase from Nick Ewenson? Fortune favors the prepared.
You got to be what was I said it earlier. Luck favors the prepared.
Yeah, luck favors them. They're pretty close.
We are starting to see a little bit of blue sky behind us, which is a rarity.
First time in about a week here.
Yeah. Thirty seconds to go in the sequence here. Again, Boston College in orange, Georgetown in yellow. Boston College seems to be, boat 12 is pretty much stopped at the moment and very far below the line. So it looks like BC's going to have one boat.
But might be
deep.
able to sneak in and just get an overlap in boat 17, which looks like they're going to do. So they may actually salvage a good start here.
Oh, wow.
And boat
do.
12 sailing fast here through. Looks like
I
they
just
maybe.
completely ate my words there. They're just.
And they're over and or spinning. So-
I did see a protest hail from boat 16 on Georgetown, so maybe there was an incident. I've seen two 720 for the BC boat 12, so it must have been some sort of
Interesting.
flag.
2 circles.
And
We'll see an umpire call.
Well, that's going to hurt having one boat so far back.
it's updating you on that redress hearing. They're going to go right into the St. Mary's race, so if they're going to resail it, it's going to have to be at the end of the round, I guess.
Got a
Little day sailor
little
action.
mizzen on the back there.
Yeah.
Trying to catch a piece of the action. So in this Georgetown BC race, BC's got a deep 6, but boat 10 and 11 looking pretty good up the beat here. BC maybe has a chance to go play 1, but again, a deep 6, so they've got their work cut out for them. On the right here, BC seems to have control, boat 11 over 16, but 16 edging out a little bit to the right, so it's a bit of a boat speed fleet race game here.
Yeah, boat 12, that was the boat that was spinning off the line for Boston College. Still deep, but full hammered down as they're trying to get themselves back into the race.
So it looks like BC to windward is leading this pair heading right.
Yeah, boat 11
think
does
so.
seem to have, when boat 16 tacks back, I don't think they're going to cross boat 11, so you could say that they are in control of that pair.
And BC's also leading the pair heading out left.
Yeah, and boat 12 getting back into the race slowly but surely, so BC hoping maybe to make a 2-3-4 happen
well,
here.
12's still in last.
They are, so we'll keep an eye on boat 11 here, this cross with boat 11 and boat 16.
Remember, BC goes faster as the breeze comes up.
So says Coach Greg.
I feel like
And
all boats
BC
go faster when the breeze goes up, but
Relative to the other boats.
So BC actually has the 1 here on the right, and boat 10 coming in strong off the left, so BC may be hoping to make a play 1 happen. I thought they were closer to play 2 mode, but BC boat 10 or 11 here pinching up, trying to gain control of the 2 Georgetown boats, making sure that they can cross clear head in the 1 as we approach Mark 1. And
boat 12 still relatively deep for Boston College. So
let's look at boat 11 here. I'm not sure that they have the 1 anymore. We'll scooch to the right to boat 11. I think they've lost
they
the
just
pin
hit
here.
16 just hit 11 when they tacked. I think they might have as he's going right into a 360.
Yep.
Ouch, that's not what they needed. Georgetown looked like they may be converted there.
But Nevin still holding on to the 1, so it looks like Georgetown's going to be in a 145, maybe 146
Yep.
around Mark 1. Oh, 12 still has a couple more tacks to do to get
Yeah,
around.
he's not
the mark.
around
I
yet.
thought they were-
They're 6.
thought they were a little farther forward. So 145 for the Hoyas on the top reach leg.
And 11 going for a hard left on 16, or not a hard left, but it looks like 16 may have just sailed over the top of boat 11 and into the 2.
Just off
So
the line.
after spinning that circle, looks like Georgetown may be able to go play 1, and just kidding, they are spinning.
Just
So-
off the line here, we have St. Mary's
Meanwhile,
in blue.
Yale and St. Mary's.
Yeah, just off the line, St. Mary's in blue, Yale in red, and wow, boat 1 is absolutely trucking right now on the right-hand side. Looks like he might have caught a little bit of favorable boat swell for a moment there. And huge extended lead for for Yale boat 1, and they seem to be in control of at least 2 pairs as well, so Yale seems to be pretty happy against St. Mary's off the line.
So again, regardless of that redress hearing, if Yale wins this race, they clinch the regatta. So we knew a win by Yale over St. Mary's would give them the win, and boat 1 is still
Boy, they are just flying,
trucking
huh?
to the right.
That's Malcolm Lamphere.
and Chandler Gore.
Yep.
Flopping back to
They're
this.
going right into the lead.
Flopping back to this orange and yellow race coming downwind again. Orange is going to be Boston College, yellow Georgetown. Getting pretty close to Mark 3 as this breeze velocity is coming up. And I think we might see some exciting stuff around Mark 3 as Georgetown was in a 1.45, and that seems to be broken up a little tiny bit. Maybe thinking they can go play 1 with boat 17 and 18.
Yeah, I think they're going to. As Nevin Snow gets a hard left on 11.
Yeah, boat
That's
18
going to open
gets
the door
through.
for 18.
Oh, maybe not enough.
Ouch.
Oh, I don't know. I think
Contact,
that's
definite contact. Might have been a foul.
maybe a
on-
little bit too aggressive by boat 17 there. I'm not sure. I think 11's protesting. They don't want to spin.
11 spinning right away, so I guess admission of guilt. Maybe they're going to try to get the umpire involved as well. I don't know if they can, but Georgetown
and a green
now.
flag. So
Georgetown in a 1-2-4. See if we can get an instant replay on that one, huh?
Man, that was an impressive move by Nevin Snow in boat 17. Went for a hard jive and almost immediate contact with Sky Sinks there. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
So that's a 1-2 breakaway for Georgetown at the leeward mark over Boston College. And they're also surfing upwind the same way Malcolm Lamphere did for Yale. They've got a boat wake behind them, and they are pulling away.
So let's check back in with that race upwind there in the red and blue. Again, that's Yale in red, St. Mary's in blue here, and Yale has a convincing lead on the left there with boat 2, Malcolm Lamphere, having sailed all the way to the right. I believe, am I mistaken? No. So boats 1 and 2, I think, for Yale.
Yeah,
Yale probably
Malcolm's
on
in 1,
1-2.
leading on the right.
And Yale leading off the left with boat 2, it's Nick Baird and Charlotte Belling. I think Yale might be able to go 1-2-3 here against St. Mary's.
And it just might.
As we see,
Well, boat 6 is doing pretty well.
Maybe they're across here.
In fact,
So, boat
boat
6
6 is
able to
rounding
sneak
in
around
first.
in the 1.
With that pedestrian boat just literally on that in the leg.
So
They got to get out of there now.
Yeah.
That's a little ignorant boating, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, nothing like an Urban Nationals.
But boat 6 is spinning, it seems.
Boat 5.
Boat 5 is spinning.
Oh,
So
that's
boat
fine.
6 here in the 1 for St. Mary's really just wants to hold on to the 1, especially with such a deep 5-6 here. So they're just going to push down the race course and be ready to set up at the leeward mark when they know they have a chance to kind of hold court down there and
And
try and
Yale is
stop all
marching
3
on
Yale
like
boats.
soldiers in that 2-3-4 combination coming downwind.
And that pedestrian boat and also the foul on boat 5 certainly puts the last boat for St. Mary's pretty deep right now.
Umpires creating some wake of their own as they reach across the front of the fleet here to get a better perspective. Not sure that was totally warranted.
Yale continues to soldier on in the red boats, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, spread out across the run leg.
But boat 4 for St. Mary's doing a good job of keeping boat 2 high, trying to make something happen here, maybe a little bit of a high-low with boat 5, hoping they can sneak around and go 1-4-5.
Yeah, boat 6 has a lot of condensing to do around Mark 3.
Yeah, and
that's what they want
they
to
don't
do.
seem to really be doing a
They
whole
don't seem
lot
to be
right now.
very interested in making this race. Maybe
And
they're
they
pretty
don't do
confident their team-
anything.
Maybe they're feeling the pressure from boats 1 and boat 3, and maybe they have some faith that their teammates can make something happen.
I would think
back,
you want
but
to close that gap as
Yeah,
much
they needed
as
to close that
possible.
gap. They didn't do
really need
enough.
to.
Peeking back up at the top of the finish right now, it does look like Georgetown held on to win against Boston College.
Yeah, boat 6 here in the 1 is really not doing enough. It's not enough just for their teammates in the 5-6 to be close to boat 2. They need to have all 3 Yale boats tight together. They need to be doing a whole lot more at that leeward mark to condense the race. Now Yale is going to have an easy time setting up their weave as we'll probably see boats 1 and 3 both tack here, I would think.
Well, Yale
Boat
still
3
need to
goes
do
for
some
the tack.
covering because boat 2 is still a bit vulnerable to 4 and 5. Nice rounding by Nick Baird in 2.
So St.
Yeah.
Mary's just going to try to find a spot, but I don't know if that's going to come for him.
Notice Nick Baird is not the one doing the covering.
Right, Nick Baird just sailing fast and free to the
It's
right.
the job of the teammates in 2nd and 3rd to do the covering. He needs to get stronger by not over-tacking.
We're seeing a strong luff from boat 1 right now. Maybe they're feeling they can get a little bit unbalanced at the moment, and they're trying to bring things back together.
Well, it's worked for Nick Baird going far right by not tacking. They've gotten much further out. In fact, they have quadrupled their lead over 4.
Yeah, so looking at them coming back now, looks like Nick Baird in 2 is going to get across boat 4. I was actually really expecting a cross there, allow boat 3 to clean it up, but they're going to leave out, protect the right side of the race course. In any case, Yale's got a pretty comfortable 2-3-4 here.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
not sure
very
that,
comfortable.
I'm not sure that 4 or 5 really has a piece of anybody for St. Mary's. So a win for Yale here would definitely clinch the regatta for them.
Yeah, their 4th consecutive national title.
No doubt about the.
So this is it.
the
Yale
regress
coming
hearing.
into the finish line with a 2-3-4 to clinch.
But farther down the score sheet, it certainly is still in the mix for that 2nd and 3rd spot. But a loss by BC right there against Georgetown might have sealed their fate, actually, as the 4th place team as things start to come together here towards the end. If my math is correct.
I think you're right on that, Brooks. So Yale coming in across the line here. 1 just doing a little luff for insurance on boat 5.
Yep.
We might see one last-ditch aggressive effort from boat
By
6
Marcus,
here.
yeah.
But don't know if it's going to be enough as the wall of Eli's are just rampaging right for the finish line.
And so there is Yale crossing the finish line with a
2-3-4,
2-3-4.
and believe that clinches the
That'll do
national
it.
title
So Yale
for the
gonna win their
Bulldogs.
4th
4th
consecutive national
team racing
championship.
national championship.
That is impressive.
I mean, we're
Well,
sitting
congratulations
to
to Yale University.
We're sitting with the coach of the last team to do it, Kenny. Yourself, the Tufts team doing it in
93,
93 to
96.
Well, the
96.
problem is, for me, they're a young team. They might do it again.
Yeah, they're only losing, I think, was it 1 crew?
They're losing Charlotte Belling.
Well, she's awesome, but
who's
they've
been
got
there for
other
all
good
4.
kids there.
Yeah, certainly in a position to rebuild.
Wow.
So they still have 1 more race to sail, so we might not see the celebration start quite yet, but got to be all smiles right now in the Yale boats and over there in the Yale tent.
Not seeing much from Zach Leonard. Looking pretty stone cold face
I mean,
here.
I feel like that's always the demeanor of Zach, just ice cold at all times and very, very calculated with every coaching decision that he makes. And certainly winning 4 team race national titles in a row, you got to think that he knows something.
4 team race and 2 fleet race in a row so far.
Yeah, we saw last year the women's Yale swept all 3 national championships, women's team racing and the co-ed, and putting on a show. I believe
Yeah,
the
they went
first
on
team
5 regattas last spring.
I believe
Semis, finals, team racing, everything.
The last team to do that was the U.S. Naval Academy in 1991 or 92, I believe, and certainly the makings of a dynasty right now, if they're not already called a dynasty.
Yeah, absolutely. With Coast Guard winning the women's and Yale now winning the team racing, nobody with a chance to sweep all 3. But regardless, an incredibly impressive win here for Yale.
It looks like we got a little bit of a
Making it look easy.
Looks like we got some airplane action coming in over the top here, flying in directly. It could be some Memorial Day celebration.
Just
See
in
if
time
we
to
can
celebrate
get
Yale's
that
win.
on the screen. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, just in time. Yeah, Zach Leonard called the flyover for the Bulldogs.
Whoa.
America. See how many viewers we got right now on the live stream. We appreciate you guys spending your Monday Memorial Day with us here. Again.
Okay, so you guys won that one pretty easily.
Yeah, it was a good 2-3-4.
Do you guys feel like when you get in the 2-3-4, you just look so comfortable? You seem there all the time. It's like you're planning those positions every race.
Yeah, our coach made us practice it a lot, and I guess it really paid off in the regatta.
Yeah, because you guys seem to be in that all the time. So who's your next opponent?
We got Georgetown last.
Okay, your last race?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go get them. Good luck.
Thanks.
Still wide
To
open
be
between
decided.
Georgetown and St. Mary's. I guess that
So who's up first here?
up first, I believe we're going to have St. Mary's and Yale.
No, St. Mary's in DC.
DC. The last two races of the regatta. So we believe Yale has clinched, and what's it looking like tie-wise for Georgetown and St. Mary's? If we actually need an update on that sail-off, if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it kind of comes down to that sail-off. So right now, Georgetown, St. Mary's is actually going to have 7 losses, I want to say, once they score that Yale race. But possibly 1 loss flipped. St. Mary's only sailing 1 race so far, scored for 1 race. So they're going to have 7 losses. Georgetown's going to only have 5 losses. But if they flip that result in the St. Mary's Georgetown race, that's kind of going to have all the. That's going to be the deciding factor on the St. Mary's Georgetown second and third place split.
The sun's fully starting to come through. The most blue sky we've seen all weekend. Setting the stage perfectly for Championship Monday, as the last flight of the 2016 Laser Performance ICSA Team Racing National Championship comes to a conclusion. Just 2 more races left, maybe 3 if they do that sail-off.
So now, out of curiosity here, what's St. Mary's record against BC?
Let's see, St. Mary's in the gold rounds.
St. Mary's 1-1 against BC. So if that sail-off race is not resale, if that race is not resale, or if St. Mary's keeps a loss in the column for that race and they lose to BC, BC could sneak up to 3rd on the podium with a win against St. Mary's here right now in this race. So possibly a chance for BC to sneak a spot in the podium with this last race.
One minute for St. Mary's in the blue against BC, 10, 11, 12
In the orange.
The orange.
The playground down there, the pre-start is pretty close to another pier, and
Yeah.
that's the deepest we've seen it all weekend.
Yeah, a couple of races ago, it was halfway out in the bay.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a shot of that approach to the line here with all those boats.
Yeah, camera's showing an empty starting line with 30 seconds to go because they're coming from below and just moving into the picture now.
There we go. So 20 seconds. St. Mary's was leading 2 pairs, but they're going to have to jibe out at the pin right now. BC trailing in at the boat, leading in the middle, and now leading at the pin. Even start, pretty even start for all 6 boats. Maybe boat 12 at the boat for BC, a little bit bow back, but pretty much a clean, almost like a rabbit start for those 6 boats.
Yeah, it's a pretty close start.
When it was lighter earlier on, we saw a lot of teams prefer to lead in, but I think as this velocity is coming up, what do you think their starting strategy has shifted at all, Johnny?
I think a little bit, at least the time over distance changes, so I'm not sure teams approach the intro to start a little any differently, but certainly knowing that they have the ability to reset, jibe out, tack out, and reapproach their pair and push in, boats being able to move a little bit faster in this breeze, so that changes how that sort of pre-start dance goes.
So far BC has gotten the edge here on St. Mary's.
Yeah, it looks like BC leading to the right, leading in the middle, and leading to the left.
Yeah, they're leading all 3 pairs. Boat 6 in the middle for that's St. Mary's in 6.
Looks like we're seeing a lot of sailboats out, like some day sailors out, but I guess the good news is they don't make that much wake compared to some of the power
Right.
boats we've seen plowing through.
Well, it's Marcus Edegren in 6, and he's doing okay. He's got Raoul.
He's
A
got
little bit
piece
of
of at
tacking back
least
and
boat
forth there.
12, so we'll have to see how they look on boat 10 on this next cross. But the fact that they're tacking back tells me they maybe don't really have it. So Raoul may be in the 6 here for BC, but it looks like BC's got the 1-2 with boats 10 and 11.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Boat 4, though, looking at this angle from our screen, makes it look like boat 4 is a little bit more in this race. I think boat 4 maybe has a bit of boat 11 here. Especially as 11 now reaching down to boat 6. I don't know, I think boat 4 may have a chance in this race.
Yeah, it's going to be seeing how those far 3 right boats, boat 10, boat 12 for BC, and we see 1 boat for Georgetown St. Mary's tack back now, and it's going to be a big cross here, and I think that boat 10 will be ahead.
Boat 10 ahead, but we'll have to see how boat 4 fits into the mix as they're coming across right now. Seem to be ducking that pack, but not by much. Ducking the first boat, but able to tack on 1 BC boat, so St. Mary's looking like they might round.
And 4 might have a pin on another boat.
Actually,
and
it looks
4's
like
got
they
the
do,
lead.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think boat 4's got a pin on boat 10 right now, and it looks
So
like
they're hanging on to that for now. They've let go of the 1. They're going to let BC round the 1.
Boat 5's feeling a little pinned right now as well, as they see him start to
Wow.
jibe out to get around, but no, BC
Nobody
keeping
can
him pretty
round the
tight.
mark.
So St. Mary's in a 2-3-6, but nobody yet tacked around from this pack.
So St. Mary's may be a 2-3-5 if they can put boat 12 away. They're having difficulty doing that.
Looks like boat 6 needing to luff, might be getting rolled here. But luckily boat 5 sailing low and fast, able to get back into the race.
So St. Mary's
Boat 5 actually sailing
now
into
has,
the
now
1.
has the 1. So now they're 1-3-5.
1-3-5 will likely develop into a 1-3-6 here, so I'm not sure that was the move taking the 1. Looks like they had a strong opportunity to go play 2. Now looking like BC may have a shot at play 2. Looks like St. Mary's boat 6 is not going to be able to get her on the outside of boat 11. So BC looks to have a strong 2-3-4 here after rounding in a 1-4-6.
And boats are getting pretty spread out on the downwind, each pair kind of finding their own, but let's see if...
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Well, it's good action in this.
Now, boat 6 looking, and boat 6 looking more and more like they might be able to sneak around the outside of boat 11. So
and boat
in
5's...
both cases, the St. Mary's boat is on the outside.
right, BC has a weak hold on both boats 4 and 6, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough for BC to get around either of those
Right,
pairs. Or excuse me, St. Mary's.
BC has both inside and right of way. Both of those pairs.
But we'll see boat 5 start to set up on the inside here. Gonna get a chunk.
And a foul from boat 6.
Big foul for boat 6. That's not what he wants. But he's gonna whip a quick 360 and hopefully get right back in it. But boat 5 doing a lot of work right now around Mark 3. Seeing a green flag from an umpire. And condenses the race a little bit, but it might
I'm
not
not
be
sure
enough.
that boat 11's on starboard there. Well, And that boat 11's aggressive move on boat 6 looks like it's going to be enough to put boat 4 around possibly in front of him. But boat 12 going to go for a luff here. Make sure to control boat 4, and boat 11 should be able to sail fast through.
Seeing an aggressive jibe on the starboard by boat 5.
I
It's
like
going to
it.
get
Love
one
it.
piece of him.
Go for it.
Might be enough for boat 6 to get through. Maybe contact there.
Does St. Mary's have the lead here?
St. Mary's might be squeaking
Sort
through here with a
of. I don't know.
1-3-1-4 combination
Yeah, maybe 1-4-5.
and a green flag.
I don't
there's
know though, they're
contact
bow
there.
back on both pairs, so St. Mary's boat 4 doesn't really have control of boat 10, and boat 9, even though they got around in front, doesn't have it either. So BC could pretty quickly develop this into a play too. I think boat 9 for St. Mary's may want to just tack here and now, try and get control of boat 10, which is exactly what they do.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
Sure.
replay that replay that mark rounding for you guys real quick. Boat 5 doing a lot of work right
Because
now around
in
mark
the meantime,
3.
it kinda
Seeing
looks
a
like,
green flag.
St. Mary's may be trying to go play 1.
St. Mary's going to play 1. Yeah,
And,
BC's
condenses
got the
race a
2-3-4
little bit,
back.
But it might
I'm
not
not
be
sure that
enough.
boat
Looking at
11's
this
on
replay though.
But now this past,
And
we're
that
looking at the
boat
replay coming
11's,
in here.
aggressive move on boat 6 looks like it's going to be enough to put boat 4 around.
So
possibly
around
in
mark
front
3
of him.
headed to mark
But,
4, we
boat
see
12
boat
gonna
5
go
start to
for a
set up a
luff
little
here.
high, and then that's when they throw in that jibe on the starboard, which can catch some people unawares, and clear that was the case. We see boat 10 jibing with, and I thought there was contact right there on their transit
No,
with
that's
boat
a
6,
near miss.
but I guess not. And that
So,
was a
That
very
allowed 5 and
effective.
6 to get around with a 1-3.
And that was a very effective jibe back by boat 5. But let's
Checking
see if we
back
can check
in,
back in live.
Upwind, it looks like St. Mary's desperately hanging on to this 1-2 here. Boat 6 sailing free to the left, just trying to sail fast up the
Marcus
course.
is just sending it to the left.
And boat 5 just narrowly hanging on to control of boat 10.
Oh, that's close.
Oh, I'm not sure that's even a strong enough leave out there.
Yeah, I think he got to be a little bit closer than that.
Boat 5 barely holding on to this, and St. Mary's, I believe, still has a 6, so they're absolutely chasing.
And I just heard a St. Mary's sailors yell for Marcus to come back, and he does. Finally, he maybe got a little bit, send it a little bit too hard out there.
I think that's a mistake there by Alex Curtis. He's going to let boat 12 duck him, and boat 10 has control.
Well,
so
5 clearly does not have the solid lee bow.
No, so
If
boat
Marcus
5
is
out
winning-
the back now. It looks like
I think BC's winning this in orange.
I think BC's in a 2-3-4 here with boat 6 and the 1.
I think BC's got the 2-3-4 again.
I do too. As boat 6 comes across the entire fleet, looks like they are leading, but that wasn't enough as boat 5 couldn't hang on to the lead in the right. But now we're seeing a close duck here from boat 5 possibly. Actually, they've got a piece of someone.
Boat 5 does have a piece
And
of
they
boat
do.
12.
5 still has a
You
shot.
see a leave out here from boat.
Some flags coming down. I feel like boat 5 maybe should have gotten across someone
I
there
think
because
you're right, Johnny.
they missed an opportunity.
Hold on, though. We might get a late shot on the line here, but it looks like BC's going to go
BC's
through
going
a
to be
2, 3,
2-3 and at
4
worst
across.
5.
Worst 5 can get in
boat
somehow.
I think boat 5 missed an opportunity
Yeah.
there to
No, they're still
to get across
tacking.
the bow of a boat and make a play happen. They went for a late lee bow.
So Boston College is going to take that one against St. Mary's, which who owns the head-to-head on that? Because that would,
Now BC owns it, I believe.
so that would put BC into 3rd place, St. Mary's into 4th. All again, of course, pending that potential resale.
So BC in the first round did win against St. Mary's, and they lost to them in the top 8. So it looks like
Meanwhile,
BC now owns that
Georgetown is
tiebreak.
romping off of the 1-2 over
Against
Yale,
Yale.
but Yale doesn't care.
Yeah, Yale doesn't care. They already clinched their national title, and maybe I think they might have switched up their personnel a bit. Maybe get a couple seniors in there for some fun in the last race. But
Yeah,
we'll
I'm not sure. I haven't had a chance to see who the players they have put out
I'm not
there.
sure they have a lot of seniors here.
Yeah, the scary thing is even their alternates are young.
Yeah. So Georgetown in control, running away with a 1-2-5, maybe 1-2-4 even against the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
Some
Yale's
Bulldog on
alternate.
Bulldog crime.
Yale's alternate, Mitchell Kiss.
Is he in boat 2 there?
No, I don't think he's in. He might be. But
I think that's Mitchell Kiss.
Oh, it is him. Okay. He was their number 4 last year, and I thought for sure he'd move into the team race squad. But Nick Baird came in as a freshman and just wowed everybody. No fault of Mitch's.
So Mitchell Kiss in boat 2 for Yale, and Yale losing this race to Georgetown. Georgetown in the 1-2. Looks like they subbed out Nick Baird, put in Mitchell Kiss.
I wonder if Mitchell Kiss is going to sail any of the dinghy championship.
I don't know. It's kind of a lot of speculation to that point. I think everybody knows that Ian Barrows and probably Meredith are going to sail A division.
Well, sure.
But
who's
B
sailing
division's
B?
up for grabs. Malcolm Lamphere sailed very well in this team race, but I'm not sure he's
No,
got
he's
the
not
fleet
their
race
best fleet
chops
racer.
to do it.
He's one of their best team racers.
So I think I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if we saw Nick Baird in there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be either Nick or Mitch.
So at this point now, with the scores as is,
I'm getting the vibe that we're not going to see a resale just based off of the not seeing too much urgency to try to get rotation going.
So Yale, obviously in the win here. Georgetown with this win definitely clinches second. BC in third, St. Mary's in fourth. If St. Mary's does get a resale with Georgetown and are able to win that race, then they would bump up to third. So at this point, 1 and 2 are locked in with Yale and then Georgetown, but a fight for third with BC and St. Mary's.
And so maybe St. Mary's will try to fight that, fight for that resale.
Yeah, they want a spot on the podium.
And of course, those ever important foul trophy points that are awarded to teams throughout the season at the championships in the fall and the spring to determine who is the best overall team. I believe the Charleston Cougars won that, had the title last year.
Somehow with Yale winning all 3 of the co-ed national, all 3 of the dinghy national championships, but that was not enough apparently without a women's single-handed sailor in the mix.
And the Cougars certainly had their a lot of strong men's single-handed.
Yeah, I don't think St. Mary's sees themselves in the mix for the foul trophy. Marcus Edegren did, I believe, sail men's singles. I'm not sure they've had a women's single sailor. Oof,
that was an aggressive dial down for this race. Maybe just Nevin Snow wants to go out his last collegiate team race regatta. He wants to just make sure no love
and
lost.
it with an exclamation point, that's for sure.
And so we're seeing the race committee is still set, so maybe there is intention for them to actually have this resale. As I'm seeing St. Mary's boats actually making their way back out to the starting line. So
Yeah,
we're
so
going
it
to get
sounds
some,
like
some
we will
free
have one
sailboat
more race.
racing, folks.
Free racing.
And that would be Georgetown in the yellow, who's about to finish this race up top with a 1-2 over Yale, against St. Mary's in the blue.
So had Georgetown lost this race to Yale, the race between Georgetown and St. Mary's would be a fight for second place. But Georgetown winning this race, that locks them into second place. So Georgetown not really playing for much at this point, just racing St. Mary's pretty much for maybe some Mesa pride, hoping they can own the head-to-head record. And St. Mary's desperately trying to hang on to a third place finish after entering this round with the next best shot behind Yale of winning the title. They went 0-3 now, barring this sail-off, this resale rather, 0-3 in this round, falling back to fourth. So they're hoping to redeem themselves in that sail-off race. Resale, I keep saying sail-off.
And so we'll
So
see.
Georgetown does cross the line.
Georgetown
with a 1-2
crosses
over
with a
Yale.
1 with a 2, but it doesn't matter as Yale has clinched the event and their 4th consecutive team racing national title. We'll see some celebration, I'm certain, from the Red Boats 1, 2, and 3, and all smiles from them.
And Georgetown has clinched second.
Georgetown has clinched second.
Something
So we will be, it appears we will be doing the resale.
So we'll get some
one
free
last
sailing,
race.
So stay tuned. There is more action coming.
Fist bumps, hugs from all the skippers for a little bit of a water, jumping in the water, splashing.
not out there right now to join in the celebration.
No, excellent. I mean, you probably saw a little bit more this season, Johnny, just being on the team racing circuit, but Yale just kind of seemed to be in control for every event that they were in. They always seemed to be always at the top. And
Surprisingly, they actually started the season not as strong. We look back at the scores now, but the Bob Bevere team race to start the season, they actually they finished 4th, losing to Stanford, Charleston, and Georgetown, and pretty convincingly actually having a losing record at that regatta. But at that point, they had rotated through 4 skippers, and weren't quite sure who their 4 would be. So they were still figuring things out at that point, but a 4th place finish there, and then they improved. I want to say their next regatta would have been the St. Mary's team race the following weekend, which they did not attend. I'm wrong on that one. So Yale's next regatta was maybe at the Southern New England team race. Nope, Graham Hall. So they finished 2nd at the Graham Hall to Georgetown. And then at that point, they were kind of off to the races, had a really strong finish at the Freeze Trophy, I believe making the Final 4 there, and winning the Marciano convincingly, and winning their team race conference championships convincingly. So didn't start the season strong, but came on strong after that, once they figured out who their 3 would be, once they solidified Nick Bear as their 3rd skipper, and winning here. Shout out to Nick
Yale
Ewenson.
can get the party started with the ham horn, and shout out to Nick Ewenson for that one. No, he's not here this year.
Hope Nick's watching live.
Nick, if you're watching
or
at
maybe
home,
John
we're,
Stork.
The announcing crew from last year.
Who else did you? There was a 4th you guys had.
Carl Ziegler.
Okay. Is Carl Tufts guy?
He sailed. It's either Tufts or Conn College. I forget which.
I think it might be Con. You might be right.
But he was certainly a team racing legend himself.
So Georgetown has not yet turned around to do this resale. Oh, here they go. Maybe just getting some coaching at the dock. Probably Coach Mike confirming that they've locked in 2nd, so this race is more for fun than anything.
We determine if this determines 3rd.
It does determine.
Yeah,
3rd.
if St. Mary's wins, they get 3rd. If not, they believe they get 4th, and BC is 3rd. I'll be right back.
Notice someone's playing Chelsea Daggers right now.
What's up?
The song they put on
Oh.
Chelsea Daggers. That's the Blackhawks
Oh, yeah.
victory song. Malcolm Lamphere from Chicago.
How did we do on our viewing numbers?
We're at 226 right now, but I think the peak that I saw was like 270 at some point today. Never quite hit that 400 number, 300 number that we saw last year. But let's see if some people want to tune in for this resale to see if the Seahawks can skate away with a third place finish. Always the bridesmaid and never the bride, it seems, at the Team Racing National Championship for the Seahawks. Yeah.
It's a Nick Ewenson line there.
But they've been second a lot.
Yeah, they won.
That's what I was alluding to.
Most recently won in 2010
In
Before
Wisconsin.
that, they won in 07 at Naval Academy. But the years from 2012 to 2014, they went 3 years in a row second place with a similar group of skippers.
Yeah.
That was a tough 3 years for them, losing.
So do our camera people know they're watching the dock and not?
I think just because the celebration's going on down there.
Here we go. To the starting line, once again with St. Mary's in blue, 4-5-6 versus Georgetown in 16, 17, 18. Once again, St. Mary's needs this to clinch third place. Otherwise, Boston College gets third.
So Boston College fan here, sitting, waiting, watching, out of their hands, hoping for a Georgetown win over St. Mary's. Georgetown really just kind of playing for pride here, hoping they beat. If they win this race, they hold a 2-1 record on St. Mary's. Maybe just, I don't know, playing for pride, playing for some Mesa pride.
Well, it's a pretty close start.
Yeah, St. Mary's boat 5 looks to be out the back early, but looking like they're owning the spot at the pin, and they seem to have the pair in the middle.
Plug my phone in for me?
Yes.
I don't know whose phone charger that is.
It's me.
Thank you. So St. Mary's seems to be pretty strong right now with the 2-3-4 up the beat, it looks like, or some sort of combination of that.
Yeah, St. Mary's boat 4 might have the 1 here, I'm not sure. And boat 6 sailing out fast to the left, so St. Mary's sort of in fleet race mode with boats 4 and 6.
Seeing some of the celebration for the Bulldogs here. The Yale Bulldogs flipping their boats there in the little rotation area.
Yeah, that's nothing new to most of us who've been following college sailing for the last couple years.
Yeah.
Watching Yale celebrate their national title.
The water might be a little chilly, but doesn't matter when you're celebrating a win.
I think that's their second this year. As I'm saying that, Yale, St. Mary's boat 6 spinning off the left, which gives Georgetown a little more control. But I believe Yale, Malcolm Lanphier already won the single-handed national championship.
That's 2 titles for him.
Titles for Malcolm Lanphier. I think he's the only one who can stake any claim to that this year.
Has that ever happened before?
A single-hand and a team race champion?
Yeah, and maybe potentially a co-ed fleet race champion.
Well, I'm not sure that Malcolm's going to sail A or B division, but I'd have to imagine.
Well, go. St. Mary's just trying to fight their way through. They have a deep, deep 6, it seems. Boat 6 on the far left-hand side of the race course.
I don't care.
That's Marcus Hedgren who had to squeeze around the pin at the start. He's only made 1 tack.
Well, Juan Magley,
That's
former
true.
classmate of yours, was
In
he was a single-handed champion,
2013, he did win the single-handed.
and then he won A division, and the team won college
Well,
nationals.
there's been a lot of multiple winners.
For sure, multiple winners. Just curious how many single-handed sailors have overlapped.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if Marcus has anything coming in from the other side. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that Georgetown's got a big lead.
Georgetown boat 17 spinning here, actually. So St. Mary's going to round the 1
Oh,
with
what
boat
happened?
4, and boat 6 looks like they might be able to get around in the 2 or 3. So I'm not sure
So
how
St.
that got
Mary's does
mixed up,
have the
but
lead.
St. Mary's in the 1. I see some protests up top. St. Mary's in at
Mary's with
worst
the
the
1-4-5.
1-4-5.
St. Mary's really going to give it their all to try to get their shot at the podium.
Oh, red flag.
on Georgetown. Maybe not.
No, nobody's spinning. The red flag is still aimed at somebody.
Maybe they couldn't hear, the competitor couldn't hear who they were hailing.
And that
It's
is
16
Georgetown
for
16.
Georgetown.
So as two.
And despite all the spinning for Georgetown.
Boat 4.
Yeah,
setting up.
six was easily in the 3 or easily in the 4 or the 5, and I'm not sure how they lost that. But 17 going aggressive on boat 6. That's Nevin Snow for Georgetown, and he's now lost that pair. So advantage back to St. Mary's with an ace here.
Yeah, St. Mary's keeps looking better as we get closer to the leeward mark. We've got a 1-2, possibly a 5, and there's a good breeze. Going to take them all the way to the finish.
It's like a green flag from the umpires there.
This is going to be Mackenzie Cooper and Maria Leffingwell getting around first for St. Mary's.
You've seen boat
Followed
6
by
start
Alex
to do.
Curtis and Shelby Jacobs.
So St. Mary's seeing, this is where their tiller extension came off last time, but clearly seem to be avoiding that situation this time through. As St. Mary's sails through the 1-2-5 around the bottom turning marks.
And AJ Ryder tacking here right into St. Mary's coverage. So St. Mary's looking good as they sail clean off to the right and the left. I'm hearing a protest on boat 17.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Not sure what that was about. And a red flag on 17. That's Nevin Snow already in the 6. So that adds a little more insurance, allows Marcus Edegren in boat 6 just to sail fast and not worry about the 6 and help his teammates out up front.
Yeah, not quite sure what that was, but
So St. Mary's up top still with a, they still have a 1-2 up there? I believe so.
Only barely. I'm not sure that anyone really has a hard duck here and a
Wow,
dial
an immediate
down.
dial down.
I don't know
strong
about
contact.
that.
That's going to be,
That's a desperation play.
yeah.
So boat 4 just
So
spinning.
four's going to spin anyway, do a quick 360.
Safer play for boat
And,
4. is
and
just
they're
to
still
spin
going to
that
be
circle.
leading as long as 5's winning the race.
But look at boat 16 right now, 18 right now, just cooking over the top of them.
I don't think it'll matter with boat 6 over here for St. Mary's in the far right, hooking into a bit of a righty and sailing back into the race.
Yeah, so far ahead of Nevin. As long as 5 hangs on for the win.
And there's not really a whole lot here that Georgetown can do with Nevin Snow spinning the 6. Turns out that seemingly inconsequential foul is proving costly for the Hoyas.
Yeah.
5's doing an awful lot of slowing.
We have a spectator boat getting right in the way here of Nevin Snow. He sails all the way to their bow and tacks to get as close to leyline as possible.
Curious to see how boat 6 is going to be when they come back. They're certainly clear and free and might have a bit of a...
I think they're just extending the lay to be safe so that even if they don't own it, and boat 16 for Georgetown spinning.
Spinning or just jiving out because they
I
were
think a
pinned.
spin.
No, he doesn't tack back, so that was just a jive out. Just a
Interesting.
Yeah, not sure what that was for. So I believe St. Mary still has the bullet.
They have the
And
one,
certainly
and even if they
the
don't,
ace
even
as
if
well.
boat 6 doesn't have it, they've hopefully, presumably, overstood ley line here, and all they really have to do is just sail through some coverage to the line, and they'll finish 1-4-5 at worst. So there it is. St. Mary's across the line in the 1, and at worst a 4-5.
Yep, that'll do it.
1-4-5. So
St. Mary's has taken that race and gotten third place.
yeah, good for the Seahawks to walk away with a little bit of pride here as we finally conclude things here at the Lights Performance Team Racing Nationals.
Well, we'll be on for the awards, but I want to just mention the winning team for Yale. It was junior Ian Barrows sailing with junior Meredith McGarry. They also had sophomore Malcolm Lamphere sailing with junior Chandler Gregar, and freshman Nick Baird sailing with senior Charlotte Belling. Coach Zach Leonard's team to win their 4th straight team racing national title.
Yeah, I think the big thing about that roster is they're really only losing one crew, so I think we can start thinking that